Live.
Top of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for joining us. Let the madness begin. William Coleman, Marshawn Taylor, and what a week!
What a week.
What a week! And it's an interesting week because it's a week where we're learning a lot about ourselves as a community,
Okay.
as people, as black men, and just we're really learning. And I remember we had talked previously. You made a statement that you never know how you're viewed until you're viewed in another country.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we have the trial going on down in Georgia, of course, with is it Arbery?
Yeah. Auburn.
Arbery,
Yeah, I'm out
and
Auburn.
then we just wrapped up the Rittenhouse trial.
So you want to call it that?
Yeah, um, we lost a rapper, Young Dolph, and I was wondering. Let's start off with the one that just got wrapped up with the Cal Rittenhouse trial. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Oh man. Well, it didn't go the way that everybody was hoping it would go.
Before you answer that, are you surprised?
No.
Okay.
No. I
Okay.
wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. For one, you. It's funny how it, I knew it was going to turn out the way it did the minute this Joker was able to go in and pick which jurors was going to be the alternate jurors and which one's actually going to sit on the jury box itself panel. For one, that's the thing. That's crazy. I've never ever in the history of trials. I'm not sure if it's a Wisconsin thing or what, but I ain't gonna say it's a joke, but it makes you question. Uh, you question the integrity of justice, of those supposed to be the defenders, the beholders, the enforcers of that justice, of the justice system, as they say they want to call it. Um, yeah. And then the show he put on, the Crocodile Tears, he need a better acting coach. My man need a better acting
So
coach.
you didn't like the
I wanted to punch him in his face. To be honest with you,
okay.
honestly, I would have punched him in his face. To be honest with you, and guy for I don't like to come off that way, but and then when he got the verdict, he overacted his over, like he about to, yeah,
Got the Holy Ghost.
right. And then, of course, his mom, put it out there. Oh, well, he was defending himself, but how are you defending yourself if you are the antagonizer? I'm saying that, or the protagonist.
Protagonist. Yeah.
Protagonist. If you're the protagonist, I don't see.
both actually.
Yeah.
He was
Right. All of a sudden, he's the antagonizee, or how you want to put it.
right.
So, I mean, I'm not surprised, and I'm surprised Kenosha's still standing. You know
I have a theory about that.
what you got?
So I honestly didn't care about the trial, but it seemed like everywhere I went, it was playing it, and then my mom was watching it, so I ended up listening to it. This judge inserted himself in this trial, and someone made a good point. They said that this judge is trying to set himself up for a career after being on the bench, because the things he was saying didn't make sense. The way he was going after the prosecutor didn't make sense. He was just too involved,
Right.
and he eliminated a lot of the evidence that could have been.
Oh,
He said that we talked about this during pre-trial. You can't use this, or this. So let's look at the order of events.
okay.
A situation happened in Kenosha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Up until that point, there was no violence on record.
Right.
A 17-year-old kid woke up one day and drove from another state.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, he
with
did.
AR-15.
Correct.
And he drove there to assist grown men. He walks up to these grown men with AR-15 and lies to them and tells them that he's an EMT. That came out in trial.
Wait a minute.
Seriously, he actually that part did come out. That was actually one of the parts that the judge said we wasn't supposed to talk about.
Oh,
he lied.
I do remember that now. So now I was when you EMT, you walking up with an AR-15.
Oh no, that's standard. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
When the ambulance come, they all know that they come like SWAT.
So I shouldn't be surprised the one roll up with a Desert Eagle ready. Okay.
Yo, I'm about to heal you and kill you at the same time.
I'm about to blow their own shoulder off. Shoot. Okay, aim it. I got you.
So
okay.
He walks up to these police officers and says that he didn't show no credentials.
Right.
The boy don't even look 20.
You look like he was still 15.
He actually looked a little mental, but we ain't gonna.
Yeah, he looked mentally.
But he wasn't challenged. Not one.
He looked mentally challenged.
He did. Not one officer said, "We don't need your help."
Right.
So he did. So all this happens. You're here to assist the police.
Right.
How did you get separated from the police?
Well, he's part of a special team.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's specially trained.
Yeah.
Like he's a ranger or special forces. You know.
Yeah. He
plays special operation. You know.
I bet you if we go online, he plays Call of Duty.
Yeah,
he calls people nigga all the time. I bet you if we pull his profile, he calls niggas all the time. Oh yeah. Here's what I believe.
Okay.
He went there to kill someone.
Yeah, because
he was a terrorist.
Because my thing is, I got you. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
He went there to kill someone, and I don't care how it sounds. I don't care what people say.
Right.
First off, your mother didn't stop you.
Exactly.
Second of all, the weapon that you carry wasn't yours, so technically it was a legal weapon in your hands. You took it to a city, an illegal weapon in the city because you can't have the permit, because you can't have the weapon because you're the age that was bought for you, but you weren't supposed to leave the house. So you locked and loaded a weapon. Cross state lines to assist police officers, which by the way, this says a lot about those police officers and they should look bad because if you have a 17-year-old kid who says that you need help, then you obviously need to reevaluate your life as a police officer, but that's neither here nor there. You show up there, you lie and say you're there to help. And all of a sudden you happen to get separated from the police and the police didn't shoot no one.
Right.
You did.
Right.
Not one person, not two. You shot three people. You killed two, and only one person that you shot had a weapon. And on camera, the guy that had the weapon was talking to him. And they played the video. The crowd was reacting to you shooting.
Yeah.
The crowd was reacting because you wasn't a police officer. You was a citizen with a weapon. How are you in? How is that self-defense?
He was trying to make a citizen's arrest.
It's funny you say that because what we're noticing is that's a popular term they use when it comes to, because that's actually what the people down in Georgia are saying, those three white men are saying. Even the one that got on the stand, he said that Ahmaud did not pose any threat when they killed him. And we're gonna get to that because there's two interesting things that came out during that.
Right, I got you.
But there is a common theme. Is that when it comes to us and people who align with us, there will never be justice.
Right.
He got off because, number one, we didn't burn the city down.
Right.
Because we didn't care.
I was about to say that. We weren't involved. We should have been involved.
We should have been. Black Lives Matter.
Should have been there.
I agree.
I definitely agree.
If that would have happened, it probably would have went differently.
Right.
Because then it's like, okay, y'all do care enough to say that all lives matter.
Right.
Second, we have gotten to a point where they feel no remorse killing anything that looks or resembles us.
Right. But the crazy thing is, those three individuals weren't one of us.
Exactly. Not one of us, but they were there.
You're right. You said we should have been there. We should have been there. We should have been there.
Which, by the way, was funny because the judge even brought that up. We don't want no black pastors. So right then and there, the prejudice of the judge show. But I know people would be like, "Oh, you know, that would have been a distraction." No, the distraction was the judge.
Right, which he was.
He was the biggest distraction in the case, but he got a job with Fox News. It's all good.
Oh yeah,
That's what he got. And
Yeah.
Rittenhouse, he's gonna live his life, because I'm gonna come back to why we suck as a people. So 2 men are dead.
hmm
One got his arm almost blown off, and this boy gets to walk free. We seen this happen with George Zimmerman.
right.
We seen this happen with the music played in Florida, where the guy shot the kid because his music was loud. Let's not forget about the sheriff who told the kid, was the sheriff or state trooper, who told the kid to get his license and registration out the car. And when the kid go do it, he just starts shooting at the kid, claiming the kid was reaching for a gun.
Either or, I think either way is still wrong.
And
Regardless of what it was.
now we and to see this case get dismissed because of self-defense lets me realize that there is no amount of justice in America for a black man. And I know people like, but these are white men. No, they were representations of black men.
Because they were there on
Exactly.
on a behalf.
So they proved a point
Yeah.
in this trial to state that you could stand with them Negroes, we're going to treat you like them Negroes. So you better pick your side. That was the statement made in that trial. You better pick your side, because you will die just like them. And you will not have justice just like them.
Okay. Good point.
How does that translate to the case that's going on in Georgia? Is because there were things that they left out of this case because they didn't want it in the trial to obscure the court or anything like that, the jurors. So they left a lot of things out. But in the Martin case, all of a sudden, oh, he had THC in his system.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
It shouldn't matter.
Oh, he was walking through a neighborhood. Heard that before. He was looking in a house. Who looks in an empty house that's being new construction? So they pulled the video of what was him.
Right.
But what they forgot was to edit the video. So they
Right.
pulled a video of white people walking through the same house. All these people walking through the house,
Right.
which is common
True.
in new construction.
Right.
So what threat did he pose? He didn't.
He was gonna buy that same house and move them in the neighborhood. That was the threat he was posing.
Exactly. But why was he trying to make a citizen arrest? Like what does that incline? Like what is a
'Cause-
citizen arrest?
And people, you necessarily don't need a weapon to do a citizen's arrest. To
Right.
arrest somebody. And I guess it still doesn't. I forgot how it works, but you necessarily doesn't require you to have a weapon when you do a citizen's arrest.
So I got this theory.
And there's even and even at citizen's arrest, you have your own. I said your own. You don't read off the Miranda rights or something. You got to read off to the person you're arresting.
Okay, that's fair.
So everything.
So how is it that, and I'm just throwing this out there, just spitballing, they can make citizens arrests, quote unquote, deaths to unarmed people of color, but they can never stop these women from being raped?
Oh,
Where you at? Getting raped in these clubs, getting raped in these parties, getting raped at these football games, getting raped in these churches. You can't make a citizen arrest in a church from a pastor that's molesting your child, but you can make a citizen arrest with a black man.
oh well, I do not know. That's
It got me thinking, and the reason why I put those two together, because those two go hand in hand. But what really is what dooms us, and I'm gonna come back to another point. What dooms us is the fact that in the midst of those trials going, Young Dolph gets murdered
right.
in public,
Right.
in front of people,
Okay.
where children were there, like an animal.
Right.
So when Kyle Rittenhouse was going to Kenosha, he was going to kill an animal, because in
Right.
his mind, just like in America's mind now, Young Dolph represents black men,
Yeah.
and the man who killed him represents black men.
But I wouldn't necessarily say The whole animal part, the part I can see where with the written out thing, the written house, the whole how that could be your metaphor. Yeah, they shoot them down like shut them guys down like animals. So true. He went looking for trouble. He went hunting for trouble, and he found trouble. He got in trouble.
Exactly.
Now the young Dolph thing, that's something we do. We've been doing to each other and ourselves ever since when,
Forever.
So, and I wouldn't say you to bring them together like the same.
I'm about to tie the boat.
Yeah. I need to tie it together first, and so we can get.
I'm gonna tie it together.
Yeah, to go ahead and tie it together, so it'd be
All right, I'm gonna tell you why it all coordinates. George Zimmerman still walks this earth.
Okay.
The female cop who killed the black man in his drawers eating a bowl of cereal still in jail, but she's still on this earth.
Right.
But those two black men felt whatever Dolph did was so important that they wanted to murder him. And yet none of these gangs have that type of love or respect for us to take out people who kill us. I'm not advocating for violence, but when you have more respect for them if they ended George Zimmerman's life, if they ended the cop life who killed Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, the one that took Mike Brown's life. I mean, why is it that these black men had enough courage to do this to young Dolph in public, but not named black men had enough courage to do this to George Zimmerman or those three white men who took Arbery's life?
Good question.
I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying that.
Well, I mean,
they killing us.
I understand that.
And then they looking at us kill us.
Right.
So in their mind, they're like, what's the repercussion of me killing a black man? Actually, I'll take it a step further. I did y'all a favor because now y'all ain't got to do it.
Okay. I don't know if they doing me a favor, or doing anybody a favor. Doesn't favor anybody. Man, that's a deep one. But there's no, because regardless of the reason behind them shooting down young Dolph, the young man in Wisconsin shooting them 3 people down, cutting them down, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, the young man who got the George Zimmerman gunned down. There's no. It's one of them things where people feel they have to have. In my opinion, it's their form of justice, quote unquote, or street justice, which is so vigilant. So vigilante, as they say, vigilante like. No, you're not put on this world to be a superhero. You're not meant on the world because if that's the case, you wouldn't require to use a firearm. You wouldn't, and I'm pretty sure you would have. I don't necessarily true. Maybe necessarily to be true though. You have your courses of action before you actually try to take somebody's life.
I know you're supposed to why is it that nobody fires warning shots? How is it that you can have a weapon and you can shoot people in the leg, you can shoot them in the arm, but you automatically do kill shots?
Because for one, and I'm glad you brought that up, if you're not properly trained to handle a weapon, not nobody excuse.
No.
And not excuse. If you're not properly trained to handle a weapon, you're not going to know how to wound somebody.
Okay, that's
and like I said, and then another thing is we're so desensitized to like you said, these kids watching Call of Duty, Halo, all these, so they feel like that's their reality in a sense. Okay. That's their reality until they actually see themselves do that nonsense and they splatter the blood, and it's a whole different thing when you've seen somebody getting shot in real life as opposed to watching a movie, watching a video game, or watching a YouTube video.
No, I agree
You
with
know,
you 100%.
like I said, it's just totally two different scenarios. Real life, and that's the thing. People get these things in the picture in the back of their mind. Like you said, the young man drove from one state to another, thinking he's gonna be this big hero. You know, who are you going to save?
Why your mom didn't step, or your father?
Exactly. Where were your parents at?
Where was your dad? Like, no, you ain't going.
And why were you able to gain access to this weapon if it was in your house? Period.
It was bought for him, and it wasn't by his dad. So obviously his dad's not in the picture. So white people have daddy issues too.
So his mom knew he had it?
Yeah, his mom thinks he's a hero. He is written off as a hero.
So okay, so he's a hero now. So my question is that hero safe to go back and walk the streets he live on in his own town now?
We won't talk about that.
Okay.
Because I'm at a point now, I think there's no hope for our race. And we'll talk about that. But it's crazy because there's no remorse for killing Black people or people who help Black people. And we could look back at the Freedom Bus Ride.
Right.
In case people don't know, because they probably don't teach it. You know, some young Jewish people,
okay,
African American people, you know, they took a bus ride.
Right.
They came down south to help us unite and vote.
Right.
They hit a town in a state. We're not going to name the state. We'll let y'all do the research on that. And they were never seen. Never seen again. Just disappeared. They found them dead. You know, the law said, you know what, we ain't looking for them. Took the FBI to go down there and do a little FBI stuff to barely get stuff taken care of. But now it's at a point where are we going to lose our allies because now they realize that there's no justice for them?
You mean allies as in who?
Other races who identify with our struggle to the point that they feel like they want to step up and say something. Do you feel as though now this has set a precedent to say that, you know what? I know I'm helping you, but they're really looking at me like I am you now. If I march with you.
But you shouldn't stop though. But the thing is, if we doing right by ourselves and each other, and it isn't necessarily gonna stop anything, but it makes things a little easier. It makes things more copable. It brings us together more. You know, like and we talked about this years ago. It's always, you know, because sometimes you gotta take baby steps. Sometimes it's gonna take, and sometimes you need to take giant steps. Sometimes you need to take medium steps, and we gotta figure out what them steps. We should know. We should need to figure out. We should know what these steps are that need to be taken. We should never always, even if nobody's gonna stand with us, we should always stand with each other.
That's where I'm glad we're heading down, because that's what got me upset with the Young Dolph situation. Because now you have this plaster all over, and of course the men who killed him were Black. Now it's like, wait a second, y'all killing each other. Why y'all worried about us killing y'all if y'all killing each other? Y'all killing each other over what? Words? Beef? Y'all had the energy to kill Young Dolph. And that's not just Young Dolph. I mean, we go down the list. People die here. Black people die here every day. What about hands up Black people? Y'all have the enough gumption to kill each other. But then y'all get mad when we kill you? It's kind of hypocritical.
I mean, you can say it's hypocritical, but I mean, my thing is, because my thing is, regardless of that Homicide is wrong, period, regardless of who's doing
No,
it.
I agree with you.
Wrong,
I'm
wrong, just doing it. But I
killing.
mean, but if you're doing it out of racial hate, that's totally different, though.
Isn't both of them considered racial hate?
No, I wouldn't say it's racial hate, because my thing is, if it's within your own, there's nothing racist about it. You killing your own, and not saying that's a good thing either.
Maybe we should classify it as that. Then maybe we'll take more of a stand. Maybe we classify black on black crime as a hate crime within our own community, saying, you know what, if you kill another brother, you must hate that brother. Like y'all couldn't come to no resolution.
Good point. Good point.
Couldn't come to
no
no other resolution. Like y'all couldn't talk it out. You couldn't say, you know what, you go your way, I go my way. I mean, we have allowed white people to call us nigga and spit in our face, and we won't lay a hand on them.
I don't know about that one.
Percentage.
Okay. I know.
And if a black man step on your shoes, you murder his whole family.
Right.
And it's like, at what point do we not say, you know what, can we, for one day, not kill one black person? One day, can we just say, you know what, this day is just a nonviolent day for us? Can we at least get to a point where we condemn those who kill us the same way we condemn white people killing us, Asian people killing us, because Asian people have shot us in their stores, you know, Jewish people promoting our music and then raping us out of our royalties because they do control the music industry. Can we stand up and say, you know what, no longer will we allow this, because we love ourselves enough to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And the reason why I bring those, and I'm putting them all in the same mix, is because there's a divide in our community to the point where I'm starting to believe that black people are starting to disassociate themselves with black people.
It's nothing new. It's always been going on.
It's always been going on, but I think it's more prevalent now. And
okay.
To the point where
I can see that.
They're more vocal about it. I'm listening to people like who in a show with this trial, like, oh yeah, you know, I heard some black people prominent in media and things like that talking about, yeah, you know, he shouldn't go to jail. Talking about Rittenhouse, he shouldn't go to jail. He was defending himself. It's like, that don't make sense. Did these people come to his house? Did they come to his car? Did they get him in the bathroom? How is it that he was defending himself when he went there with the purpose of using that AR-15?
Right.
And I'm like, that's what bothers me the most, is the fact that we're justifying it now as black people. Like, yeah, you know, if black people wasn't out there rioting, well, they didn't riot. Nothing transpired until they were fired.
Right.
And here's the question: what deems a threat to you to the point that you have to use your AR-15?
I don't know.
Why didn't the cop shoot? Why wasn't you next to a cop the whole time if you there? How are you there to help? What police training you have? What military training you have? What EMT training you have? What high school diploma do you have?
All that's online. He gets home taught.
Once again, if we pulled his file, guaranteed that boy say nigga and be killing everything online. But it brings me to a bigger concern, because it's now it's set. As a black man, do you feel safe in America, no matter if you're with black people or not?
Good question. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's a good question. I've never thought of it that way. You know, it's not a matter of being safe, it's being comfortable where you are and where you're at, regardless of who's around. Black, white, yellow, brown, purple. I That's a very good question. We'll see come soon. Because like I said, these time is winding down.
Who you telling? Because I thought about this as a black man, and I really honestly been thinking about this. We are at war in every facet of our life, from the ongoing battles with racism to the ongoing battles of trying to prove that we're not sellouts to fighting our women. Trying to say, oh, well, we go through the same amount of this that y'all do. And someone was brought up about this too.
Who said what? Yeah.
It was brought that our women show more respect to white people than they do us. That our women will put on the sweetest voices to white people and will treat white men as their saviors, but will change up and argue with a black man over nothing. And I had to sit back, I had to honest to God think about this. A percentage of my interaction with black women ends with attitudes. And I watch these same black women literally bend over backwards when a white person comes in the room.
That is very good.
As a black man, I feel as though across the board, we are in danger because we have no leg to stand on. Because our women argue with us. If we stay with them, we're arguing with them.
Right.
If we go to the other race, we're arguing with them.
Right.
If I go to work, I have to deal with whatever trials and tribulations at work. And then if I'm working with a black woman, she may feel as though her plight is greater than mine. So that's an argument.
Okay.
Or if she feels as though I'm not black enough. Because, most of the time when black men feel like they have to be black, it's because of a woman involved, a black woman at that.
Okay, good point.
Or I have to deal with the fact that this white kid could walk up on me and shoot me because he felt threatened. I have to deal with the fact this white woman could say rape and I didn't even look at her. So as a black man, I feel as though we have nothing in America anymore because every side has a war against us. And if we really bring it and sit down, every side has a war against us. What's your thoughts? I ain't mean to come off like that. I just been thinking, man.
There's a lot of thought put into it, my son. And you very well ever have an justifiable question, observation. No, nothing wrong with that. It does, because not too long ago, it was brought up. Shannon Sharp brought it up some time ago, and I understand where y'all coming from. And I can see that as a very big, regardless of what demographic, you're going to be, there's going to be looked at as an attack. It's been going on. It's nothing that has just started. It's just more obvious now.
Okay.
And people got to understand the things we've done, what we've done to ourselves as a whole now that we're being out front, being transparent, and nothing wrong with being transparent. Cool. But keep in mind, when you start seeing things for what they really are, that's just what it is. Being transparent. Like you said, being attacked within your own race, whether it's from a woman, a person with various sexual orientations, religions, political party.
That's a whole different
what's another one? The shade of your skin, colorism, ageism. You go through these. You're gonna go through these trials and tribulations. It's just you just got to stay the course. It's not ever going to change because it's always been that way, and people need to understand that it's always been that way. And like I said, it's more. Like I said, the transparency is what you're looking at. It's what everybody always wanted, and people got to understand that. You think when you think to be transparent, it's not going to be the prettiest things to see.
Okay.
Ever.
I agree with you. I just and it really made me think because do we have peace?
No, you're never gonna have peace because you think about it. That's where the whole trauma comes in of being passed down through generations. Because if you because and that's why we have this war within ourselves is because we find that little comfort zone, that space, and we stay in that space because that's where we feel safe. Not we're at peace. We gonna say it's peace because once we're in that space, we don't feel as disturbed, But we feel everybody with that shares that same space with us is willing to defend and hold us down. But sometimes that's not even true. It's not even true. And you still don't get it.
No,
but
no,
I'm
no,
saying,
no. I get
for a
what you're saying.
sense,
And
like you said, for those in that LBGTQ plus
I don't even
3000
try.
crew, like I said, even within them, there is a divide. When it comes down to it, they back each other.
Right. That's
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, black women, when it comes down to it,
I don't think they have our back.
They'll hold it. Yeah, they'll hold each other down. Like I said, that's another show we got to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to our black Republicans,
Yeah.
And then we got our high yellow, our light skins, our dark skins, our brown skins, So no, it's never going to be any peace because when we pick a lane, we stay in that lane because we're comfortable and we know that there's people along that same lane that are not the same race or same color, skin, or whatever.
Right.
That don't have your back because you go down this lane with them. Now when you start going into, like I said, the sexual orientation lane, boom. Now, okay, so now we saying the whole women / black woman power, feminism, black equality, as they want to call it, lane. Right. And then then we got the big colorism. Then we got the ageism. So, and we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. Because like I said, we allowed ourselves to see how everybody else does it instead of sticking to what we did and how we were living. Now, nothing wrong if it improves. Your way you live improves. But when you get away from the basics and start taking other people's way of living, this is what we come to.
Everybody loves speeches.
Right.
Everybody loves speeches. Everybody loves Martin Luther King speeches, Malcolm X speeches. Everybody loves Marcus Garvey. Everybody loves speeches.
Right.
But there was a speech that everybody loves of Malcolm X. And Malcolm X actually said something very interesting in that speech. And I see it now. And he said, when the welfare law changed to where the man cannot be in the home,
right,
the black woman made a decision to go with the white man because he was providing.
Okay.
To the point he said that now your child will be calling that white man daddy. Fast forward to now, when you go to a black woman, and this is not all black women. I hate people be like, oh, you generalize. It's not generalization, but it is a percentage. And a percentage could be from 1 to 100, but it's a percentage. If you go to a black woman, you will end up having the worst experience of your life dealing with her because she will always hold you accountable for stuff you didn't even know existed.
Oh, that's another conversation we'd have. That's a whole different. So that goes back to. I remember when we did that recording with Victoria, and she asked why it's not a good idea for us to be in a relationship as soon as you come in another one, because of situations like that you're dealing with, and I hate to call it what it is, baggage.
Right.
That's and people understand that's what the Erykah Badu song is about, the bag lady. And the bag lady and carrying all these bags like that. Who you expect to hold on to girl, you need to, who's
Right.
gonna keep you around like that if you holding on to all this baggage? And that's basically and and that's why a lot of times, I mean, whether you've been married, you're married and you're now divorced, you've been in a committed relationship, 'cause like I said, I believe in same philosophy as well. As long as that if we didn't say I do in the eye of God, and you didn't take on my last name and whatever, and we became one. If it's anything outside of that, you know, you or if you're not working towards that, you shouldn't really invest like you really should do emotionally and spiritually. That it's wrong, like you said, and I understand, and I do agree. So you get what you get when you play house,
Right.
but at the same time, we keep in mind that you need time to sit there and relieve some of that baggage, in which we don't. In which it's men and women do it. A lot of times you see women do it a lot because you got those women, or you got those. I'm gonna say women. You got people that want to. They. It's sort of like when you've been married for so long, and you're so used to having a connection to somebody that's always gonna be reach out, can touch, call, smile. That connection. You feel that you got to have that connection all the time. You're no longer in that comfort zone.
Right.
So used to, you're no longer that one person. Now you divided your totally different vessel. Now you see somebody that you're interested in, which is nothing wrong with that. But keep in mind, you're just coming out of something. You're coming out of another store with baggage, and you're about to go into another store with baggage.
Right.
Now my thing is, you think about picking up some more baggage when you're in this store, or would you rather say, hey, you know what? Let me walk around a little bit. Let's walk to the car. Let me release some of this baggage first before I try to go into something else and buy some more stuff. Knowingly. And I hate to use the metaphor like that, but you kind of gotta give yourself a break. Give yourself to get used to walk around with nothing in your hand.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
No, I
Nothing
agree.
on your back.
I agree.
You window shop. Nothing wrong with window shopping. Nothing wrong with window shopping. And I mean looking. Now, if you decide to touch whatever beyond, that's what you choose to do. But don't sit there and make that a thing as you're about to invest. Because there's something wrong with trying something on. You figure out, you know what? This might be too expensive. This might not fit right. This might not be my color. You know?
Mm.
It might be the wrong time of year to wear it.
I
But maybe I'll come back for it later.
I agree. So, do you think that as black men we're held to an unrealistic standard?
Yes, because you're asking yourself to fail, but you're not expected to achieve.
I like the way that I really like the way you said that,
Right.
because I have this. I feel the same way. I feel
Right.
as though if I do believe that if a black man achieve, I've come to realization if we achieve, then we are a threat in our community.
Right.
If we underachieve,
not your community, just your threat. Period.
you're a threat. Period. If you achieve, you're a threat.
Yeah, you just a threat. Period. Because you want to be that presence in your community when you do achieve.
Right. But even if you are that presence in your community and you achieve, you run the risk of being eliminated.
I understand that, but go forward with what you're saying.
But we're not set up to achieve. We're not set up to be successful in the standpoint of being purely happy.
But I'm gonna stop you far now. When we say, because my thing is, we look at this thing of success as a big thing, and like I tell people, you gotta take little steps of success to get that big achievement.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's called potential.
Right.
So, but in the black community, especially dealing with black women,
right,
potential is not on the table.
No, because they want somebody that's achieved. Sorry, so they don't want to. A lot of them, majority of us, we want the finished product as opposed to the person trying to become that finished product.
So, with that being said, I'm ostracized because I'm not where I need to be. But then when I become what I need to be, you get mad because someone else took the time to be with me.
Oh well, that's all right though. But see,
But
that
that's
and
the
that's
war. But
but
that's
that
part of the war that we fight as
but
black
but
men.
that see, forget all that. But you know what? I don't even look at it that way because in that case, if you went there from the step one, from some, I say ground zero, say uh point negative 0.9. You know, if you went around from -1,
Right.
ground -1,
It don't matter.
it really shouldn't matter. It
Okay,
shouldn't
that's
matter.
fair. And
It
I agree
shouldn't
with
matter.
you. I agree with you on that. It shouldn't
It
matter.
shouldn't matter.
So
Because go ahead and say what you're saying,
no,
man.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
Because my thing is this, and I think a lot of times we forget the focus is we worrying about who's watching us while we're taking our steps, and we should just be stepping out.
I agree with you on that. I do believe that when you live in your true purpose, it doesn't matter who's watching you,
Right.
who's around. So I do agree with that. But that's where bring this all the way around is that's why I believe we're in danger because we're not achieving our full purpose because it seems like we have more hurdles to overcome to even reach the goal that I think a lot of black men either tap out of running it within the black race. They tap out
Right.
and say, you know what, I just forget that side. I'm gonna achieve my goals,
Right.
but it's gonna be out of y'all view. Or
Which is not wrong.
it's not wrong, or they get to a point where they get caught up in the black system and they get bogged down with baby mamas not being able to reach their potential and just barely making it and being happy in life because truth be told, as black men, we are aging horribly.
I want to say we age horribly. I think we made the grind harder for ourselves than we really need to be.
Okay.
And I think, like I said, we start out because, like I said, we start out doing more than we need to be doing. There's nothing wrong with, like I said, for instance, the baby mama thing. We just need to start strapping the fuck up.
I agree with you on that.
All jokes aside, I don't care how we
say it's the man.
I don't give
50% is the
a
woman.
yeah. I don't give a damn how good it feels with whatever. We need to be strapping up.
I agree. I'm 100% on board
Oh,
with that.
And believe it or not, and people don't believe when I say this. When I first when I used to meet females, every now and again it'd be like an immediate thing for a sexual intercourse. But I always try to get to know them first in case something comes about to where I might consider some kind of relationship down the road, you know. But even then, still with that, strap up.
Oh, I agree with you.
You know, and we put that wear and tear on us. We get these diseases, we get these viruses, these diseases, STIs, STD. Man, it's no fucking joke out there.
It's the stress of multiple jobs, killing yourself.
We do it to ourselves. You know, we feel we should be out there driving the nice cars. Well, no, dude, take it one step at a time.
I agree.
Let that be your ultimate goal, dog. Eventually, you want to. Hey, you start out driving a Honda Accord. The next thing you driving an Acura. Hey, you driving the 50. Next thing you know, hey, you driving the Maserati or whatever it is you trying to push. You know, everything's got to be in steps, man. Everything's got to be in steps. And then, also of all, and I like what you said. You asked me about success. Everybody's success doesn't mean we have to have a record deal, a shoe contract, a basketball contract, football contract. No, we be successful as doctors, garbage men, masonry. I forgot what bricklayers. Let's just say bricklayer carpenters, electricians, roofers. You just find something you're passionate about and invest in. Now, if it's just what happened, this music ball means there's nothing wrong with that. But so keep in mind, have a backup plan. Nothing wrong with going to school. Get your education, learn something. You know,
why is that not? And this is why I say it, and it all to me it all fits into how America views us because if you look at it and you brought up success is what you make it.
Right.
Success is defined. You define success, and that's define you. I agree with you 100% on that. But for us, it's it used to be basketball, football, or bust.
It's still that way.
And that's
It should never be that way.
It's not even you own the record label.
Right.
It's no, you be the artist.
Right.
And then you be the artist that's crying that you got a 360 deal.
So,
but it's never us owning anything. It's always us. For people that's always claiming ownership, we're the first ones to always throw our kids into things that depend on other people. Football depends on if you're being drafted. Basketball depends on if you're being drafted. Record, it depends on who likes your music.
Right.
Everything that we try to throw our kids in, it just seems like.
But we're not being because we're not being realistic with ourselves, and that's the thing about it. Like, we're not talking about, because there's nothing wrong with having your kids in sports, have your kids in music, but if we're not talking about stuff to be a part of, for them being a part of society, you're going to have a lot of these kids, they feel that they're going to be the next Soulja Boy, the next Lil Wayne, because that's what they go, oh, my baby can rap. You know, your baby can say a poem, a nice little poem at school, you know, but it takes a lot to be an artist, you know, and it takes a lot of time. Like, you really got to invest in yourself before people invest in you.
And I agree with
you. You know, and then there's, it's not an original idea anymore to be that athlete or to be that artist or to be whatever now, because now it's being pushed. That's what's being pushed on us. And that's what we're accepting, you know, not, you know, and then, like I said, why don't we encourage our kids, more of our kids, to be doctors, scientists, you know, physicists, whatever you want to call them, you know.
That takes time. That's a process. You're not going to come out making over $1 million automatically like you would playing football, even though statistics show that only
1%.
1%.
It's 1%.
But yeah, and still,
it's 1%.
We'll rather shoot for that 1%.
It's 1%
instead of that's
because everybody wants to be that long shot, the story that they put up. You know, they make movies about, TV series. You know, and that's what they want to do, man. I mean, so a lot of people feel that we like I said, we've gotten away, because you think about it, they've taken auto shop, carpentry, home and economics. They've taken these out of high schools and middle schools, you know, and they want to say, oh, because of funding, but what else? We're not, because we got a music program somewhat.
Yeah,
we got a computer, we got media clubs, you got, you know, but you know, we're pushing them to be athletes, but everybody is not to be the athlete.
right.
You know, not everybody's gonna be pro. Not everybody's gonna make it to college. Some people are not gonna make it to high school. Some people barely make it out of middle school.
No,
you know?
I agree with you, and it's just that when I look at it, the people who suffer, I believe, the most in this situation is black males. I believe as black males,
right,
we suffer the most, and that's why I said at the end of the day, when you look at from the media telling you, look, we'll shoot you, and then we'll televise you being shot. We'll let white people get on stand, they'll cry, and then they'll get off, go live their life. Wow, these are buried. Then you have us killing us. It's like you make it out the hood. You finally make it out the hood. You're like, I made it. I finally got it.
But I mean, that's your success. That's your success.
But then it's just like, I feel as though we're always at war. Like, I honestly, God, don't believe we're.
Then that's just what it is. It's just plain and simple. Because the thing about it, we've got out of being vigilant. We got out teaching our kids. We've gotten away from teaching to be vigilant. That everybody's our friend. That everybody has the best intention for us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing we've gotten away from. And not to say that all people are bad, no matter of other colors, of other races, other religions, whatever. But I've been taught the reminder, hey, keep in mind, you are African American, you are black. They look at you in such and such way. Now we tell our kids that They look at us like we're crazy, like we talking in conspiracy theory. You think about it. You think about it. Like we crazy. Like dog, they still.
Like, no, I'm OJ.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And we've gotten away from it, and showing them. Because like I said, the transparency is so. It made it so okay. Well, the kid don't your child don't even know if she's being don't understand she's being disrespected.
I'm seeing,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the point to where they don't outright know that they're being prejudged.
Yes.
You know, racially profiled.
Oh yes, it happens more so than what people think.
Yeah, it's blatant now. It's outright. You know, but this is the world we're living in now. You know, you want your kids to play all the bloodiest video games out there, watch all the bloodiest movies, listen to the most raunchiest music. This is where we're at now. This is what it is. You know, remember at one point when you had company to the house, were you all in the room at one time having a conversation? When your parents and other your friends' parents, they all come, say they came to your house and hung out. Y'all all sitting in the room
went upstairs.
Exactly. They don't even do that anymore.
And children go upstairs.
Right. Even if the adults are listening to music.
Children upstairs, you don't need to be. Yeah.
Right.
I don't listen to rap music around money.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
We've gotten away from our usual practices. We've gotten away from our usual practices. Yeah, like you said, we've always been at war, but we've gotten away from practicing, showing our normal fundamentals of this war. Hey, always go to school, get your education. It's always important. Remember, sports is not always going to be there. Music is not always going to be there. Hey, you make an excellent scientist as opposed to, oh man, you'd be an excellent rapper. You know?
Yeah.
Instead of we scrambling to get our kids the latest and greatest, you know, we should say, you know what, this is what we can afford, this is what we're gonna live with, this is how it's gonna be. You know, we'll get to a certain point. Maybe we might be able to get you these things, but this is where we're at now. These are our means.
Right.
We need to live within these means. Not, hey, out here, every time there's a new Xbox, you gotta get them to no. Sit your ass down somewhere, dude. Go get you a job. Go cut some grass. Something.
I agree.
Earn that. Or you're welcome to go to your friend's house and get a new Xbox. Play the Xbox all day, every day. You know, we ain't got to get the latest and greatest iPhones or the latest and greatest phone or whatever. You know. So.
I agree.
And we need to get back to investing in ourselves.
I do agree, and I'm glad we'll end with that because you're right. I think that's very important that we know our purpose and we invest in our purpose and ourselves. I do agree with that, and I do think that we lose that struggle because we get caught up with having to be the breadwinners in this role that we shouldn't be breadwinners, or we get caught up in all these different roles that the world wants us to be in. We get bogged down with everything that's going on around us that we don't really get the chance to invest in ourselves.
Right.
So I do agree, investing in yourselves is very important.
Yeah. Like I said, start with yourself. And then, hey, if you can't find something to invest in yourself in, find somebody to invest in. And it doesn't have to be something financial. You know, just let them know that, hey, what you got going on, I support you. Whenever you let me know, I'm there for you. You know, because like I said, there may be something down the road that you can do for that individual,
right,
to achieve, and then they can help you. You know, and then we necessarily should always be looking for. And another thing we do to each other is we expect an immediate return right away. Immediate return, and that doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that when you invest in somebody.
I agree,
because then it's not an investment.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right, man. I like that. All right. Got anything else you want to add on to that?
No, I'm good, man. That got on my chest. You know, kill the white people. There, yo. remember on that Eddie Murphy thing?
Oh,
Yeah, kill the white people. Yeah, kill the white people. And stop playing. But no, it's all good though. I'm just glad, man, just to holidays starting to wind down. Year about to come to the end, start a new year, big thing. So we about to start making that move, brother. So start making that move. For those that are watching, those that will be watching. Oh, do you got something you want to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go ahead. I don't want to take up too much.
Oh, no. Yeah. We got big things on the way. You about to start seeing some new logo designs coming about. You about to start seeing a whole vamp reconstruction of our sites and everything, and you're gonna see more content coming out. Matter of fact, you're gonna see another video tonight.
Soon. Yeah. Oh, okay. So like I said, we're on social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Snappity chat.
Snapchat. I'll give you a Snapchat. We're on Anchor. Let there be madness. We should be posting something. You know what? We might do one more recording for the year. 1 or 2 more recordings for the year. We just can do that. Close it out. We can close it out. We'll do a close out. I know we ain't done on that in a minute. We'll do that eventually. And then we eventually start exercising our voices on SoundCloud as well. We'll be on toexposure.com as always,
And we're going to be at the opening of the African American Museum here in Charleston.
Yes. When is the date for that?
I think it's this June coming up in 2022.
Okay, so that's the plan. And then we plan on making a trip to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. So, a lot of things coming, man. A lot of things coming. So, in the pot, just stirring it up and getting ready. So, I mean, that's it, man. Check us on the usual here. Please let your friends, family know. Check us out. Subscribe. Click the little bell. Whatever. Vintage Sight and Sound is what it is and what it will be for this point going forward. Thank you for watching. Do appreciate your time. Like I said, and keep out for the next video. Peace out. It ended right.
Yep.